Fireball Mike. Ghosts and things that go bump in the night. You're listening to Our Different Take. Welcome everyone to Our Different Take. My name is Brian, proud father of two awesome boys, epic Star Wars fan, and I'm super happy to welcome Matt back to the palatial home office studios while evading Rona. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Brian. It's great to be here. Back in the, I don't know what this is called. Is this the Fortress of Solitude or the Thunderdome or some sort of Star Wars?
Need to come up with a name. Yeah.
The Death Star. I don't know what it is, but it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
And you have better equipment here, so that's nice.
Well, we're all good now. I'm glad to have you back in person.
Thank
It's
you,
much
sir.
better. We can see each other.
Glad to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how have you been the past couple weeks? How's
Great.
your life?
Life is good, actually. In spite of the corona, like you said, that everybody's been trying to dodge, we are all healthy at my casa. I have been experiencing probably the best 6 weeks of my life. I don't think it's ever going to be this good ever again. I haven't worked, spent tons of time with my family. I
That's
drink
awesome.
every day.
You drink every day.
My kids do school with me every morning, and then in the afternoons I spend time in my garage working on cars and doing projects. And
That's awesome.
I have not, quite literally, haven't had this much time off since I was 13
13, huh?
when I started working. Yep.
Wow.
And I've been working ever since. So this has really been a godsend for me. This will go down, probably I'll die, and this 2020 will be the greatest year of my life. If I can manage to talk my wife into a three-way, by far the greatest year of my life this year will be.
Well, it's only May.
I don't know.
I mean,
we got plenty of time.
6 months to go still.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I did a lot of work to Julia's van over the last week or so. New brakes, new shocks, new struts, new
Nice.
AC compressor, new valve cover gaskets, new.
You know what you should have done too is put like those lights underneath that light up
the
without
cool
her even
cruise
knowing
lights.
it.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
She's like, what is that strange green glow?
Lowered it a little
Yeah.
bit, put some bigger rims on it.
Sure, why not?
That would have been nice. She would have noticed.
Right. She would have noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, she would have noticed.
She's so sassy. I have to be careful with her.
You'd be in trouble.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
I worked.
Yeah.
I've worked the whole time.
I'm so sorry.
So-
Sorry, Brian.
I've picked up more hours actually because a lot of people are not with us anymore.
Well, at
So,
least you made the
yeah.
cut, my friend.
It's true. You know, I'm still getting paid, which is nice. I can afford, not Charmin. I'm down to one ply, but I can still
Not the
wipe.
Ultra, though. Yeah.
Not the Ultra. We had to lower.
It's so funny because I'm still on the same bag of toilet paper from before the COVID hit. We're still on the same 20 pack from Sam's that we had way before.
Didn't we figure out how much toilet paper you needed though? Or that was Don, huh? Don's a huge pooper, so he's got problems, I think.
I don't know what to say to that.
I'm just guessing.
I know that all of my counterparts are back at work, and I'm still not back at work. I don't know what that says. Either they're being kind to me because they know I'm having the time of my life, or nobody wants to work with me. So
No. Everyone loves you there. You'll be back.
I hope so.
You'll be back. I'll be back.
No,
Yeah.
get out.
All right, good. So what we're doing this podcast here, we're going to start out with an interview. We're going to be interviewing a gentleman that has run-ins with ghosts.
Yeah.
And possibly a demon too. So we're going to talk to him about that.
I am really excited to hear about this.
I know. And then we're going to, basically this whole podcast is going to be about ghosts, apparitions, that type of subject.
Yep, there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot.
There's so much information out there to go over and talk about and categorize and quantify, and
Right.
not to mention everybody's personal story. There's so much.
So much. This is going to be I think this really is going to be a focus on our podcast for here on out.
Yeah, because we're
For a
both
while.
really interested.
Yeah, we've got so much to talk about and we're excited. So we're really not going to have the same segments anymore.
Right.
If someone misses something, write in or call us, and we can see what we can do.
We've been trying to go through all the emails, but there's so many.
There's so many
hard to stay on top of.
Yeah, I can't keep track of all that. I did read that one from Obama, though. He liked the podcast.
Did he?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. He said not to use his name on the air, but
Just his last name, and that doesn't,
it's true. It could be Jose.
You could use his middle name,
Yeah.
Hussein. I don't think we're allowed to do that anymore.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not. He said don't do that either. So we won't do that.
We'll just call him Barack. Nobody will know who you're talking about.
Mark.
Thank you very much. Let's cut that out. We'll just
We'll cut that part
please
out.
make sure you don't miss that.
Yeah. No, I put a mark on
All
it.
right, cool.
All right. Let me mark that too. Okay, so here we go. And we are going to call this gentleman live
Let's get him on the horn.
on the horn. Okay, we need some like dialing music or something.
Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-da.
Better dial fast.
Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-da.
There we go.
There you go.
That was beautiful. Thanks.
Hello.
Hey, I'm looking for Fireball Mike.
You have reached Fireball Mike. How are you doing?
Mike, what's going on? You are on Our Different Take, and here's my co-host, Matt.
Hey, Mike, how you doing
How's
tonight?
it going, Matt? Doing pretty good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you very much.
All right, first things first, we have our intro music to the interview.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
All
so
right, let's hear it.
Here we
Let's
go.
hear it.
Bump it.
All right, that's our creepy intro music for
I love it.
Fireball Mike.
I love it. Fireball
So-
Mike loves it.
That's right. So, welcome to the podcast. We're glad to have you on for this interview.
Thank you for having me on, actually. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Thank
betcha.
guys.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just start out by we gave a brief explanation of kind of what we're having you on for, where you've seen a ghost
Okay.
and possibly a demon. So
Yes, I have.
do you want to go through the story first of the ghost
Yes, I would love to go.
and let us know what that is, and then Matt's got some questions for you too.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited to hear about this.
Right.
Please, go
It's
ahead.
crazy good. So
Oh, yeah. Well, if you guys are ready,
go.
I mean, it's the craziest thing. It's like you come downstairs from my house up here where I live in Aurora, and like early in the morning, you can see someone like you're sitting in the couch, like you're looking out towards the front door. You can see a lady in white, perfect. Just, you can see her clear as day. I've seen her. My wife has seen her. My kids have seen her, and my mother-in-law have all seen her, and we all describe the same thing. It's pretty freaky.
Wow. Does she just sit there?
No, she kind of just like stands there, like watching over us, like, hey, just that you guys know I'm here. You guys should be safe for a while. You know, we think she's a good ghost. Like, yeah, I'm here to help you guys, protect you.
Like benevolent. Like she has good intentions.
Yeah, she has good intentions. And sometimes you see like a little boy with her every now and then. But it looks like she's dressed like old Civil War era clothes, you know, like way back in the day.
Really?
And this house isn't even that old. It's like maybe 20 years old.
Right, but the area you're in, you said you're up in Aurora?
Yes, I am in Aurora. Yes.
Anything's possible. People have been around these parks
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, but no, she just stands there like right down there by our staircase, like, hey, then you guys know that I'm here, watching out for you guys. I mean, we sense like she doesn't want to do any harm. She's just here, like, hey, I'm here. How's everybody doing? You know, it's pretty cool. But then again, it's also pretty scary sometimes because the first time I'm like, what in the world is that? Like, what is that? No, I'm like, am I drunk? Am I high? No, that's clear as day.
Really? Wow.
So does the boy have the same type of clothes that she does?
Yeah, he kind of like the same type of clothes. Yeah.
So, sort of Victorian era or Civil War
Yeah,
era.
like the Victorian era. Yeah, yeah.
And her dress,
weird.
I'm guessing, is like floor length.
Yeah, it's going all the way down to the floor. That's correct.
Wow.
As you walk around, do they know that you're there? Do they follow you, like with their eyes and heads turned?
I think we've seen her like upstairs every now and then,
Oh.
but lately we haven't seen her or anything, so we don't know.
Are you at home right now?
No. Yes, I am home right now. Yes, sir.
I bet you see her again very soon.
Oh, I bet you I will, since we've been talking about
Yeah,
it.
it's funny how that stuff works.
It is. It is.
Interesting. Wow. Words are powerful, right? So my understanding is there's three different types of hauntings, right? There's intelligent hauntings, which are like Amityville horror type hauntings, where you feel like whatever's there is intentionally doing whatever it's doing.
Yeah, trying to harm you or protect you or anything.
There's residual hauntings where a lot of people see, like in the southern states, they'll see Civil War soldiers walk by, or down a hallway, or in the area of an old battleground or something like that. And those are like, apparently those are like an old record that plays over and over again. They're just residual energy that plays. And then there's intentional hauntings, which I had never heard of before. But the intentional haunting is where someone is so convinced that an entity is either trying to communicate with them or out to get them or scares them, that they actually cause things to start happening, and they become a magnet for like negative energy. And that's where you get
giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's where you get like poltergeists, crazy things like that, and possibly demons. I'm curious to know what the demon experience was.
Oh man, that was super freaky. That's back when we lived in the Springs, and we stayed in the basement of the house we lived in, And I woke up like at 3:00 in the morning, and I fell out into the hallway. I'm like, just like I'm not awake yet. I'm just like looking out, and there's just something like pure evil just staring right at me. Like, hey, what are you doing up? You're not supposed to be up.
Really?
And you can feel it was just like so negative. I felt it. I'm like, what in the hell was that? And then I had to turn my head, and it's like, yeah, I'm just seeing things. And I looked again, and it looked right into my eyes. Like, hey, I see you.
Was it a person?
I don't know if it was a person or a demon. It was just really freaky.
But I mean, did it have the form of like a man?
Yeah, it did have a form of a man. Yes, it did.
Wow.
Well, explain kind of how you explained it to me, like the description, so people can kind of see it in their mind's eye.
Yeah, I can see it, and it almost looks like a kind of like Darth Maul from Star Wars. And I have to say, because I know we're all big Star Wars nerds here.
Yeah.
But it's not like him, but kind of like his features. I mean, he had these red eyes that just pierce to your soul. It was crazy.
But he felt hateful towards you.
Yeah, it felt like it was just pure evil. Like, why are you up? You're not supposed to be up.
That's interesting.
Like that kind of thing. Like, hey, why? You shouldn't even be seeing me, but you can see me. It was freaky. And then I explained it to my wife the next day when we were just me and her, and she was like, wait, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, I have also seen that.
Really?
Without telling her anything, any descriptions or nothing. I just told her, like, hey, I kind of saw something last night. I don't know if I should really tell you. And she's like, what, wait? So that's how you? She goes, yeah, I've seen that too.
In the same location in the house?
Yeah, in the same location as our old house, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I mean, she had the story, like, when she called me one day, like, hey, there's a shoe moving from our room, from our upstairs bedroom, one of our kids' bedroom, and she got so freaked out, she just left the house.
What happened? A shoe?
Yeah, a shoe moved, yeah. A shoe just came flying out of one of the bedrooms. Like, someone threw it out of the bedroom. It was just her home by herself.
I think the next time you see this particular apparition, the only safe thing to do is run at it screaming and try and jump on it and see exactly what happens. I have always personally wanted to do that.
Was the shoe a Nike Air?
Yeah, she told me it flew out of the bedroom.
Air.
And she just left. She goes, I got the hell out of there. And she actually came by the shop I worked at, and she was like, yeah, I'm just here because I can't be at the house right now. I'm like, no, that's fine. Whatever.
Do you guys ever play with Ouija boards?
No, hell no. You crazy? No, sir.
Too many horror movies.
Do you worship Satan?
Yeah,
Do you have any league with
none
the
of that.
Dark Lord?
No. Darth Vader, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting, man. Really
Yeah,
next level.
even
scary.
talking about it, even talking about it just keeps me all wound up. Like, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah. Do you ever feel the like energy? Do you ever feel like electricity go through your body?
oh yeah, I can. Well, since I'm part native, I can see like a lot of stuff.
Really?
Like late at night, I can feel like energy, either if it's good or bad. I can feel it and sense it. It's pretty crazy sometimes. I'm like,
Wow.
like I was talking to my wife tonight. She was like, yeah, because we were just talking, because we swear to God, our closet upstairs in our master bedroom is like haunted, like with pure evil. And I asked her, like, can we felt anything like this? She's like, no, not really. Then she said, wait, I kind of have. Because it's right there, right by our bathroom, and you have no choice but to look into the damn closet, and you can just feel it. Like, hey, what you guys doing? Yeah, you're not supposed to be up again. It's one of those feelings like you need to be sleeping so we can charge your arm. That's what we feel sometimes.
Is that the same feeling you got by seeing that Darth Maul sitting there?
Yeah, it was worse though when I saw the Darth Maul. It felt just like pure, like I want to fuck you up. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
How far apart was it between when you saw it and your wife saw it? Like a couple days
told
apart?
Me, like almost a couple days. Yeah.
Wow.
But I described it to a T, and she's like, "Wait, what?" She goes, "I have seen that myself," which is great.
Did you guys how long have you been in this house?
We've been in this house up here now for 5 years, and then the house in the Springs was her family home. Or she grew up in that home, basically.
Really? So there were previous owners to the house you're in now.
Yeah.
So you really don't know the history.
No, we don't know the history up here in this house.
Got it. I got when I was a kid, a friend of mine, his dad killed himself in a house, and
That's not good.
I talked to the owners that had moved in after all that had happened, and they said that they were regularly visited by his spirit.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. I know sometimes I can sense her grandfather. He comes in, he watches over us. He was like an old time worker way back in the day. He would rub his hands because that's what he was cold. I was out there working.
Right.
So sometimes he'll challenge that. So he'll put that through me. I just start rubbing my hands. Like, why am I rubbing my hands? I'm not, no need for me to be cold. He just let me know, hey, I'm here. Watching over you guys. Everything's good.
Wow.
Which is nice.
That's
Which
cool.
is nice to see. Nice to have that.
Interesting.
Back to the lady at the bottom of the stairs,
Okay.
or
yeah.
wherever she shows up.
Yeah.
What makes you think that she is like protecting you?
Just because she looks like pure light. Like she wants to do no harm. She's just here. Like, hey, I'm letting you guys know I'm here. I mean, none of us sense anything negative about her. It's just like she's here positively. Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Do your kiddos? How old were they when they first saw her?
Not in the teenagers. I mean, they're 19 now. One's going to turn 16. Well, one's turning 20. One's turning 16. And one's turning 7. So yeah.
What kind of feeling did they get as kids versus adults then? Like seeing them?
With the lady of the light, they have no problem with her.
What do you call her?
We all welcome her.
What'd you call her?
The lady of the light, basically, is what we like to call her.
Oh.
Well, I do anyway.
That's cool.
Like Lady Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. That's one kind of like she looks like them.
Got it.
Like that kind of dress on. She has that long dress on.
Galadriel.
That is her name,
Lady
yeah.
Galadriel.
That's right. You guys are nerds. What the heck?
I know, we are.
Nerds.
No.
Well, so you haven't seen the demon in the house in Denver,
No.
just in Springs,
No, just in the Springs, which is, I like to keep it that way.
right?
Your kids, and I'm just curious about like how you guys work it in your house. Do you guys watch a lot of horror movies, or do you watch a lot of like?
Oh yeah, we love horror movies and all that, paranormal and all that stuff.
Got
It
it.
doesn't frighten us, but when you actually see it in real life, you're like, maybe there is something to this. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
I think most people go through their lives on purpose, not seeing that kind of stuff. Like if you see it, you
not
kind of blow
wanting
it
to see
off.
it, yes.
You kind of put it at the back of your mind. You don't want to see it. You don't want, and it's hard to sort of contemplate your own, mortality. But eventually we're all going to be dead. And either there'll be nothing,
Yeah,
or there'll be something. And that something will either be awesome, or mediocre, or really, really shitty.
That's true.
Fascinated by that myself, actually.
Yeah, so am I.
We'll
Believe
see.
me, I am fascinated about that too.
I would prefer not to show up, and my job is to stand at the bottom of someone's stairs, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, come on.
I don't want to
Sure
pull
you
that
would.
straw.
Why does he look so angry every time we see him?
Why is
Because
he
I'm
so
stuck at the
mad?
bottom
What
of
is
your
his
fucking
problem?
stairs.
That's right.
Why is he here? Go away.
Right.
We don't like you.
That's definitely not the man of light. That's
No,
for sure.
That's like one of our jokes is like, if you're gonna haunt us, at least pay fucking half the rent or something.
Have to
Give
rent.
us money. Yeah, give us half the rent.
Have you ever
No
had
kidding.
a paranormal investigator at your house, or anybody to look at that?
No,
and-
I've wanted to look at that back in the Springs, but it just kind of went away. All that evilness just kind of disappeared and everything. So which is fine with us.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to actually personally, I would love to know more. Like, why can I see this? Is there a way I can always see it? Wherever I go.
Right.
It's like I would like to actually learn more about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Well, okay then. And another thing that is interesting to me, I don't think you can always tell a spirit's intentions, right?
No,
So
you can't.
there's
No.
demons, there's ghosts, there's all these different things people classify that we think we know. But just like people, I think spirits can be misleading, and you have to be very careful
think
what
so,
you
too.
entertain and what you don't, because just like the creepy guy at the playground trying to get the kid into their van with a piece of candy, I think a lot of them look really nice in the beginning, but once they get a foothold and they get a door open,
Yeah.
I think bad things can
Yeah,
start to happen.
no,
And
we don't feel nothing like that with our little lady we see, so which is fine. We welcome her. That's how we see it.
right on.
It's how when we see her, it's like, okay, she's here watching over us. That's how we all feel. Like she's here just watching over us. 'Cause
Well,
she
that's cool.
really doesn't interact. She just stands there, looks at us like, hey, so then you guys know, you guys need a little extra protection or something, I'm here. Which is, we welcome that.
You ought to contemplate maybe getting some security cameras.
Actually, we have a security camera outside, and the last couple of days, it's been, you can see a car drive by, but it's all fuzzy, like it does in Paranormal, where you just see it jump and bounce and move all different ways. It's pretty weird.
Huh.
I noticed that the other day. I'm like, what is going on here? Of course, it's right outside our bedroom, so I don't know.
I have a lot of cameras in my house, and my girls are really small, and I can watch them sleeping. I have a camera in their rooms, and I have a camera in the playroom and different areas. And it's so funny because I always get paranoid, and I'm always, when I go to the camera, I wake up at 3 a.m, and I'll go on my phone to the camera in the kitchen, and I always look at the door handle to the basement to see if it's
geez.
moving.
Ooh,
Because
you're giving me chills.
I have a lock
My
on
basement's
that
right
door.
by the kitchen too.
And I always want to see if that handle's moving or not. I don't know why.
What if that starts moving one day? What are you going to do?
I really
You're
would.
giving me chills.
That'd freak me out.
The thing is, and I'm pretty sure now, and I probably wouldn't have done this before, but I'm gonna run right the fuck at whatever it is.
That's what you
the
say
thing.
now.
I did it. I actually did it. We heard something in the basement not too long ago, and it almost sounded like somebody was walking upside down on the floor, like thunk, thunk, thunk. We could hear something in the basement, and it freaked us out. And I immediately grabbed the Glock, and I ran down the stairs so fast I almost fell.
Yeah.
And because I just wanted to catch whatever it was and get a glimpse of it, you know?
Right.
And nothing there, man. Total darkness. Like,
are you on the?
There's nothing there.
Where's your bedroom, on the third floor?
Third floor, yeah.
And it was clear down on the.
We were in the kitchen.
Bottom?
We were in the kitchen at like
you're
11 o'clock at night, and I could feel it under my feet. Boom,
what the heck?
boom,
Oh,
boom.
man,
Seriously?
that's
it freaked
a
me out,
crazy
man.
feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I ran down the stairs so fast I actually bruised my heel, like because I slipped on a couple of them.
Oh.
Like I was booking it down there, dude. Yeah, if I ever saw anything like that, I've decided I'm just going to run straight at it and try and tackle it. Maybe just go right through it. You never know, but
Could be.
I'm going to have an experience.
Well, try to record it if you can.
Yeah.
Get it on
Yeah,
video.
it's crazy.
I'm actually, now that you
crazy.
mention it, I talked to Julia today, and we're actually going to put cameras in the basement now. Because I've got everything else pretty well covered, except the basement ingress is not very. It's secure. I've got like covers over the windows and stuff like that, but I want a camera down there.
What kind of cameras do you use?
blame
Is
you.
off
That's
subject,
definitely-
but what kind of cameras do you use?
I use Wyze cams.
Wyze?
WYZE.
Oh,
They're great. They're about $60 a piece, and they'll hook up to your Wi-Fi. They're encrypted.
the battery, or you got to plug them in?
You got to plug them in, but you can put a SIM card in them for, I don't know. I think I put like 200 gig cards in mine. You can put 35 gig cards in. I just had a bunch of 200s laying around, so I just shoved them in, and then they'll record for 5 days worth and just keep looping it.
Oh,
So if
okay.
anything happens, you get a record in the cloud. It throws it right to the cloud, and then it's also got it on the chip, But I'd like to catch some of that on video,
Man.
Yeah.
Well, are you sure you want to catch that on video? Maybe you'll just freak yourself out like, oh, shit.
Right? You'd be up all night watching all these cameras, freaked out.
I always look at cameras all night long.
Man,
It's
I've only got one camera here.
weird. Really?
Makes me want to get more, though.
I have,
This whole thing's creeping me
man, I
out.
have everything covered. Living room, kitchen, play area, kids' rooms, front door, entrance, garage, back of the house. Like I'm paranoid as hell.
Well, it's better safe
Nothing
than
wrong with
sorry,
that.
right?
I'm careful,
how I feel.
for sure. There should be cameras on every level and Glocks on every level. That's my motto.
Like, yeah. Shotguns, whatever you can get a hold of, get false walls, false everything,
Right.
All
right.
Oh, and to change the subject, Obi-Wan Kenobi totally will be.
Oh.
That's what I said too.
That's what we think. Seriously. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's my opinion. But mine
Well,
doesn't count. So.
Your opinion's right. So,
Your opinion seems to count.
have you watched any of the new Clone Wars?
No, it's actually out now. Well, that's why you're gonna have to stay up and not go to work tomorrow and watch all the Clone Wars.
I think the whole season is done. I haven't watched any of it
Really?
yet, but yeah, no, I think the whole season is done now. So you can watch the whole thing.
I just want to throw something non-Star Warsy in there.
Yeah.
Stayed up till 3 a.m. the other morning with my wife watching a series on Netflix called Sinner
Oh yeah.
with Jessica Biel.
Oh,
She's
right.
so good looking, and I couldn't stop. It was like midnight. I'm like, there's 3 episodes left. Let's go to bed. We'll watch it tomorrow.
Oh, I hate that. I
Watch
hate
another
that
one,
when you're
watch
just like,
we didn't get to bed till after 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was the best series I had seen in forever.
That's
Really
where
good.
she's like in it, right? I mean, she's the main star.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Jeez, it's crazy.
Cliffhanger right to the end, and it wasn't. It was easily as good as Tiger King, which I was really into.
nice. Oh God. Oh, we could not stop watching that stupid
Love the
show.
Tiger King.
We're
man.
like, it's like 10 o'clock. Let's watch another episode.
Every
Go to work
episode, I'd be
tomorrow.
like, "Oh
Who
my
cares?
God, these people are
Just
awful."
keep watching. Oh my God, they were nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We watched. I hate to say it, but we watched all the Tiger King too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, it's a train wreck.
The
I mean, I guess
debauchery.
there's like some new filter on Snapchat where you can make yourself look like Joe Exotic
Oh,
on
jeez.
Snapchat.
Why would you want to?
Actually, I don't look too bad as Joe Exotic, so you guys should totally check it out and just like, what in the hell did I just do?
Stuff.
All right. Hey, Mike, do you have some more time to stay on with us for the rest of the podcast while we talk about some more stuff?
I gotta get my little one to bed here soon, so probably not tonight.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on and giving us your 2 cents.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Because that's
Anytime,
fantastic.
Just
So
let me know. Any Star Wars questions, Lord of the Rings, especially Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
All
Any
right.
questions? I gladly answer them. I'll give you my opinion, the one I researched, and I'll prove you guys
Awesome.
all wrong.
You collect Lord of the Rings stuff, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Do you know the chant for the One Ring to rule them all? Do you know it in, like...
Oh, in the what's the language of Mordor? I could not recite it right now, but give me a minute.
I don't know that I know
probably
it
could.
either, but I want to know how to speak that language.
Shama lama ding dong. That's it, I'm
Definitely
pretty
not
sure.
that. I think that's elves.
Is that all that is? That's the
Shama-lama
Elven.
ding dong. Yeah.
Geez. That's right.
Maybe not.
I bet you, I was one to learn Elvis myself, but it's like, I tried looking into it, it's like very difficult, like how to pronounce your name and say your name, even write it. It's very
it's
hard.
a tough one. Elves are shady anyway. Don't know what I'm talking
Elves. I like elves. What are you talking about?
about. Elves and the Irish.
Dwarves are the best. If you ever watch the extended versions of where Gimli says, "This is dwarves that go swimming with little hairy women." I mean, of course, he was loaded at the time. It's freaking awesome. It's awesome.
Hey.
Oh, dear.
That's
Nothing
like
better than
him and
little hairy
Legolas
women, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
what I've heard.
Him and Legolas are having a drinking contest, and they're like, "Yep," and they're just getting plastered. It's awesome. It's awesome. If you ever seen the extended versions, you know what I'm talking about.
Those extended versions are really good, though.
Yeah.
They are good.
Yeah, it's only like 5 hours long per DVD. Jesus Christ. You're like, is this over yet?
Right?
It's like 5.5 already.
I know. It's worth it, though.
It is. It is.
All right, Mike. We're going to let you
And,
go.
All right. Well,
Thank you,
guys
sir.
Have a good night. No problem. You guys have a good night.
All right. Appreciate it. You too.
Thanks, Mike. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Cool.
There you go.
That was very, very interesting.
Fireball Mike.
I know. Nothing
That's
better
awesome.
than Fireball Mike right there.
What a great name.
That's some creepy stuff, though. Seriously.
Yeah. That look, that really angry, hateful look is a scary thing to endure.
I wonder if that thing. Oh no, it's a different house. I was thinking that thing might have come out of that closet, or maybe it's living in their closet now up at their new house.
Honestly, and I know they feel like that's a benevolent spirit, and from what I read, that can go on for years with no problem. Like some families deal with entities or spirits in their house, and they're fine for years and years, not a problem. And other families, it starts very small, and then it gets scary and even dangerous, like Amityville Horror dangerous.
Jeez,
Which
that's
is what happened with
horrible.
them. Yeah.
I would never want that.
Yeah. Are you familiar with that story?
I am.
Really scary stuff.
I would be out of that house like way sooner than what they were.
Man, it's tough. Think about it. Everything you own, everything in that house. You know what I mean? It's all wrapped up into it. You just moved there from across the country. Like, that's tough, man.
It would be tough.
They left everything in that house, including their $500,000 boat. All of it. Like,
Yeah, I don't blame him.
yeah,
No.
they just had everything auctioned off. and
Right?
done. But the pictures are what's really interesting, because they had these ghost hunters come in and take pictures,
Yeah.
and they were on a timer, so that would take a picture of like the hallway every couple of minutes. It would just click frames, and in the very last frame of the picture, you can see one of the doors is ajar, and you can see this little boy's head looking out, and his eyes are like
Whoa, seriously?
like a light.
Jeez.
And they'd seen a little boy, a blue boy, which means maybe he suffocated. But they'd seen a little blue boy playing. Some of the kids had seen the little blue boy, which is who used to sit in the rocking chair and rock and stuff. But they, it started really easy, and then it amped up and amped up and amped up, and then, you get Crazyville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't want to ever deal with that.
Yep.
Honestly, I
I'm
don't
good.
want to have anything to do with that.
Yep, me either.
Yeah. In fact, we might have to throw some holy water around the house here tonight with all the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, I've got some in my whiskey if you want some.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I put some a little bit in
Kills
mine.
everything.
I don't know how holy it is, but
It is.
a couple more things we'll talk about is here's some stats we looked up. This was from a study conducted by OnePoll, which has something to do with Groupon or something like that, but in 2018. They did a study with 2,000 people. And out of that, and it was based upon seeing ghosts and stuff like that. 60% of Americans claim to have seen a ghost. 40% of Americans think their pet has seen a ghost.
It's funny because people's animals will freak out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bark. And I do think animals see things we can't see.
Probably. Because some animals, they can sense like earthquakes coming. They can sense a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they saw a ghost. Or
And
maybe
I got to say, the Egyptians worshipped cats
cats.
because of their ability, I think, to see spirits.
I guess.
Cats are the guardians of the underworld, man.
I'm allergic to cats.
So is Julia.
I do
Or
not like
have
cats
another
at
one.
all.
I love cats.
Do you? Do you have a cat?
No, we used to, but Julia, like, all of a sudden just got really allergic and couldn't have them anymore. So her name was Little Cat. We were best friends. She would get up with me every morning and
Oh,
hang
little
out.
cat.
She lives at a house with a super hot blonde now. So
Do you go visit
no,
little cat?
nope. There was no visitation.
No visitation rights.
Pretty good looking though.
Yeah, I can't even handle cats.
Really?
No, my asthma kicks in, my face swells up, my eyes start watering. It's horrible.
That's terrible. What you need to do, and I think this will probably work for you, is find a cat and cut its leg off and put that leg in a baggie. And if you just expose yourself to that cat's leg a little at a time.
Like breathe, like stick my nose in the bag and breathe.
Yeah, just rub it on your arm.
Wipe
a
the
little
leg
bit,
on my
just
face.
Hang it around your neck eventually. Eventually, your body will adjust and you'll become acclimated to that.
That's not a bad idea.
And then you can just put whole cats around your neck.
Oh, I might do.
You just use it as a fashion accessory.
I might do that.
Yeah, man. It's the way to go.
My dad used to trap, right? And then he would trap the bobcats and coyotes and all that stuff, and then he
Really?
would sell the fur to a
That's awesome.
like a place in Canada, like a fur trader.
Furrier.
Go to Costco for furs or something. I don't know what it was.
Up in Canada, yeah.
Up in Canada.
Like
But-
the base in Peltsy.
Yeah. But the bobcats would bring like $700 a pelt back in the day, like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I went trapping with him a couple times, and he shot a bobcat, and I was playing with it. I was like petting it and all this stuff.
They're so soft, aren't they?
Crazy soft.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Crazy soft. And that's when I found out I was allergic, because I looked over at my dad, and he's like what the?
You don't look so
What is
good.
wrong with you? I'm like, I can't see, I can't breathe. So, yeah.
How old were you?
I was probably 9 or 10, probably.
Not just house cats, but the real deal.
The big cat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I've been allergic since.
I had a cat when I was a kid in Utah. I was probably 6 or 7. And I was riding my bicycle there was an empty field in front of my parents' house in Ogden. Right, it's kind of like near Salt Lake City. And I found this bag in this field, and it was full of kittens. Somebody had took all these kittens, put them in a bag, and just tied the top of it and threw it in a field. And only one kitten was still alive. And I took it out, and of course I brought it home, not thinking that maybe there was a reason somebody put all those cats in that bag.
Uh-oh.
But he grew up, he was part bobcat and part some kind of house cat. And I forget what they call it, but he was 23 pounds.
Holy smokes.
Fully grown, and that was a big-ass cat, man. And I got to keep him. His name was Kitty. And
Kitty.
and he used to regularly beat the shit out of my beagle. And my dog was terrified of the cat. And the cat would the cat roamed the neighborhood and would, like, every morning there'd be a dead rabbit on the porch, a bird, like a sign of love, Hey, I killed this for you,
Jeez.
And he would velvet his paws when you were playing with him, and he would slap you across the face with his paws, God, my head would spin. He was so big and strong,
Holy moly, that's a
Amazing
huge cat.
Big cat, yeah. I'm sad when we moved here, my dad, I think the cat went to live on a farm.
Oh.
Which I think is code for put down the cat.
Maybe so.
Yeah. But it was really an amazing animal.
Wow. Huh.
I've always liked cats.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a fuck.
It's true. They don't.
Then they're like me.
They don't. I just don't want to pick up poop out of a box when they poop in it.
I always had an electric cat box. You ever had one? You ever seen those?
I might have seen a commercial.
They just scrape the litter and they take the poop and it goes in this little box and the lid closes.
Oh.
And when it's time, you just lift out that box and put it in a new box and throw it away.
Oh.
It's easy.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still not getting cats.
Ghosts to cats. I felt like...
Yeah, how do we...
the reason I always liked the cats, and this is weird too, I feel like I've always been kind of a magnet for supernatural things.
Yeah.
Which is why I have 3 really large dogs. I sleep better with 3 dogs in the house.
Yeah.
I slept a lot better with cats in the house. I don't
Really?
know why, but I feel like they're vigilant, you know?
Yeah.
And I do love that my dogs, like my big dogs sleep right at the top of the stairs. I guarantee you nobody's coming up those stairs without those 3 dogs on top of them, and then I can just put 3 in their chest and it's a done deal.
Right. Right.
But the dogs, I sleep a lot better. Weird things come to see me at night. It's weird.
You're going to have to write this stuff down so we can talk about it more.
Yeah, maybe.
Write it down.
Yeah.
We need examples.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got off a little tangent there, but that's okay. We can talk about cats all we want.
Anything we want. It's our different take.
That's right. It's our different take.
It's our podcast.
1 in 3 people stated they have either lived or stayed in a house they felt was haunted. And
1 in 3. That's a lot of people.
that is. So if you broke up the U.S.
Right.
into like the West, Midwest, Southern U.S., or
East
Northern
Coast.
or whatever, out of those areas, what area do you think would have the most hauntings?
I would think the East Coast. It's just an older part of the country. Or maybe like New Mexico area, Texas. I don't know.
Well, yes on one, no on the other. So the West, South, Central region is what it's called. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana have the most ghost sightings
Really?
out of the U.S., yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Texas, Oklahoma, would be some of the Indian reservations.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Arkansas, Louisiana.
That
A lot of
Indian
history
stuff
there.
is really, yeah, and Civil War stuff too.
Civil
is
War
probably-
stuff. Yeah,
Probably huge.
probably.
You know, some of the most haunted places in the country
Right.
are Civil War battlegrounds and things like that. But those are more apparition-y and not intentional.
Yeah.
I think they're more like energy from bad things that happened previously, you know?
Yeah.
Replaying
Some
them
bad
over.
energy, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a trip. It's so fascinating to me. And I'm also fascinated by how that's affected, because I think I really feel strongly that a lot of it's dimensional and that there's different like planes of reality. I am no scientist. I'm just telling you how I feel. But I think that a lot of times when you look at a haunting or even an unintentional, like just a phantom spirit, it's dimensional. I think those things stick around in other dimensions that we can't see.
Yeah.
Yep. Different plane of reality.
You're probably right. Especially since, we've been talking about Skinwalker Ranch, how could be some different portals and planes there
Now
going
that-
on too, right?
That, my brother, that's a whole other podcast. But
That
we
is.
definitely need to work on that, and maybe even get some people to let us interview them on the old telly, because that's amazing stuff.
That would be fantastic.
But we're small fish. I don't know if anyone will talk to us. But
Everyone wants to talk to us. What are you talking about?
okay.
All right. How do people react when they see a ghost? Out of these 2,000 people, they asked them this question. How do you react when you see a ghost? Top response. What do you think the top response was? It doesn't give me a percentage or anything. It just says
I'm guessing,
top response.
I'm guessing they would yell out loud, or like, because if you're just like see it, you're like, ah,
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, you are correct. The top response was to scream and run away. That was the top response. Men were twice as likely than women to run away when seeing a ghost.
Huh. I wonder what that says about us.
I don't know.
We're either smarter or scareder.
Right. Could be. Other responses were to cry, hide, or faint.
I don't think I could faint if I wanted to. I don't know how you do that.
You'd have to be so scared to
I've
faint.
seen people faint before.
Yeah.
And they just go like.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never fainted.
Not that I can think of.
At least I don't remember that I
I
fainted.
don't recall losing consciousness.
Right.
Did go to Catholic school.
You might have been drugged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
While men are more likely to scream and run away, their screams were less audible than the women.
How do you know this? It's just...
So they would go, and then run away.
Oh, dear.
Well, because they asked the folks to rate the decibel of their scream on a sound scale that ranged from a leaf falling to the ground to a rocket being launched.
Right. Which is really loud.
Yeah, which is really loud. So men rated their screams to that of a vacuum cleaner. And the women said their screams sound more like a noisy restaurant.
Okay.
So
That's a strange question to ask, but I guess I know a lot of people when they're really scared, like they can't even scream, like they can't get anything out.
yeah,
Yeah. When I go strangling, you'd be surprised.
it's really quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you jump out behind them, there's a lot of.
Well, a vacuum cleaner's kind of loud though.
Depends on what kind of vacuum cleaner you got, I guess. But yeah,
It does, I guess.
my wife can scream really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dyson or Hoover.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Just
Don't take
should
that
I
the
ask you
wrong way.
why? Should we go into that?
In anger.
Oh, in anger.
Yeah. In anger.
Oh, okay. All right. Just checking. Well, according to Fran T. McAndrew,
Fran. Yes.
good old Fran, he's a professor of psychology at Knox College. Humans are psychologically hardwired to see ghosts, he says.
How does, what's his name?
Fran T. McAndrew.
Is that a
Fran T. McAndrew.
It's a gal? Francis?
I didn't see a picture looking this up.
Miss McAndrew?
Fran, probably.
How do they know?
Well, there's a
know,
long article on this, so I broke it down to like a couple points. So
Okay.
people can Google this if they want. I didn't get a link.
Fair enough.
Or it might be on the other screen. So basically what happens, I'll try to wrap this up where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it ties in with religion kind of. So every religion offers an explanation for what happens to us after we die. With the assurance that kind of death is not the end, right? So
Right.
Protestants, Catholics, Muslims believe in a day of resurrection. Buddhists, Hindus believe in a cycle of death and reincarnation. Even the Jewish faith assumes that afterlife exists. So by following a set of rules, the believers can assert control over what's going to happen to them after they die. That's what Fran thinks. So those that describe themselves as believers, but who don't attend church regularly, are twice as likely to believe in ghosts than non-believers and the deeply devout. So a non-believer is on one spectrum, deeply devout is on the other spectrum,
Right.
and then the believers who are believers but who aren't atheists or priests,
Right.
kind of like non-practicing believers, they're twice as likely to believe in ghosts.
You know what? That makes perfect sense to me because I grew up in a devoutly religious home, and you know you're conditioned. You're conditioned to believe in all things spiritual. I mean,
Right.
Christianity is a spiritual experience, and if that exists, and if Jesus cast demons into pigs.
Right.
And if all those things, you believe in those things, then, I mean, you believe in a spiritual reality that may even be much more real than what we're in right now. And there's a lot of people right now in the scientific community that feel like everything that we experience right now is actually an illusion. It's not real.
Like like the Matrix?
Yeah, man, ones and zeros. If you think about it, everything we're looking at, everything we're perceiving with our minds is all data coming in and getting processed. It's almost like a computer.
Yeah.
In fact, it is really like a computer. And a lot of people feel like what we're going through right now is a simulation. And the real world would be the spiritual world, much more real than this. And that we're a very select few people that have been chosen to go through this simulation, and we have no idea what the fuck's going on. So
that's a pretty good podcast topic right there.
Heavy,
you know that?
Heavy, right?
Are you writing some of this down?
We'll go back through it. But the other thing is, you think about spirituality and religion and all that stuff. I mean, I have a lot of theories about life. I think about this stuff all the time, and I am by no means an expert on anything. Full disclosure, I don't have a degree on any of this stuff. I'm just a average working guy that thinks about this stuff a lot. But when you look at and you think about for thousands of years what people had to do with their life, like hunter-gatherers and all that stuff, people were pretty busy all the time.
Yeah.
Not a lot of leisure time, not a lot of recreation. You would eat and poop, and if you're lucky, fuck sometimes, and you live to be 30, and that's awesome, and then you die, right?
Right.
And so, but the times I find for myself, the times that I'm very busy, like when I'm working on a car, my mind is somewhere else. When I'm out in the woods walking around, which I don't do as much as I like, but my mind is usually chewing on problems and things like that. And I feel like people back in the day, there's a reason they had spiritual leaders. There's a reason there was a medicine man. There's a reason there was a witch doctor. There's a reason there was somebody religiously in charge of their group, and they would feed that person, and they would take care of them. And in return, those people would make medicines and do whatever they could do to help people.
Yeah.
Because that would give them the time to sit and be quiet and meditate and kind of peer into that through the veil and into all things spiritual. And how they interpreted that was how that religion kind of started to go. But I think if even you or me took the time to sit and be quiet and spend months focusing on that, you will see things and you will learn things that most people today don't take the time to see and learn.
That's a good point, because we get up and we are busy from the second we go to bed, and then our minds are still busy even after that.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
Taking phone calls and writing stuff down and doing things.
This whole thing's choking me up.
You poor guy.
Yeah.
Did you just have an epiphany?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I coughed it right out.
Time to come to Jesus.
Praise God.
And that's another thing. I don't not believe in God.
You don't.
I don't
not
believe
in
in
God. So that means you believe in God.
I think I do.
Yeah.
And I think I've had to forcefully reject the religion of my parents.
Which is Catholic?
No, which is Protestant.
Oh, Protestant.
In order to come to my own conclusions, I think. Because I was just kind of forced into everything, and, and I was shown their worldview, which I don't agree with today. Although I still love them and I think they're great, but I've kind of had to come to some of these things on my own. But through it all, I've really read a lot, and I've tried to really educate myself, and I've tried to really reach out and look at different things and be open-minded. And I think there's so much more there that we don't know about. We know way less than we think we do. I think there's a ton of stuff out there, and it all kind of ties together. How that works, I don't know, but I do think there is higher power. And
I agree.
I do believe. I believe. You ever seen what's that book that was written in the 70s? something of the gods. It's a book about how the Peruvian, the giant glyphs that they made in Peru with the spaceman and the bugs and the
Right. Yeah.
People believe that those were made for the people that came to visit from the stars. And I kind of wonder if Jesus was that way, or if he was interdimensional, like if he showed up from another dimension, or I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I think there's a power.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think there's something going on.
Yeah, I believe in God, and I've seen the belief in a person when they believe in God, it changes them, is what I've seen.
Right.
When I used to work at the hospital at the anxiety depression unit, we did group therapy for people. We did a group therapy that was secular, and then we did a group therapy that was Christian-based or God-based. And I don't have scientific facts to back this up, but from talking to the people afterwards, because we would try to do a little survey or whatever to say, hey, is this helping you? Is this any good? Because insurance pays a lot to go there because it was inpatient. So
that's big money.
People were staying there.
Right.
And they said that the God-based group therapy was a lot more effective to them than just the secular. So I don't know if it's a belief in the higher power. They feel that God will help them through what they're going through instead of maybe just being by themselves. They think they're by themselves in the secular part.
Right.
That could be it. But I did see a visible difference between Group A and Group B.
That's interesting. I think it does make a big difference, man.
I think so too.
And I wish I had. I've decided to dig deeper.
Yeah.
I will dig into that more. Yeah. Because I can't, and I've heard both ways, man. Intelligent design makes sense to me, but then at the same time, I've heard the analogy. Well, intelligent design, if it was a fluke, would be like a tornado going through a junkyard and assembling a 747 by accident, right?
That's pretty good.
Which
Right.
Odds-wise, I think is about the same, right?
Yeah.
But then when they say, but on the other side, on the flip side, what we didn't know before was that there are 100 billion galaxies just like ours.
Yeah.
With planets orbiting a sun just like ours, just in this solar system. And there are almost an infinite number of solar systems. So if you take those numbers, what are the odds? Well, pretty good.
Yeah.
That among some of those planets, you're going to have carbon-based life forms, and that 747 is going to assemble.
Yeah.
Especially because the way the building blocks of our corner of the universe, as far as we know that everything works here, and there's more evidence that it's different in other parts of the universe, by the way, just coming out. But in our corner of the universe, those things are kind of built to go together. So carbon-based life form, if those blocks are there eventually, that's going to happen. Really interesting.
There's so much stuff.
Good
grief. Write that down. What the heck?
So much.
Jeez. Well, let's see. Let's have a word from our sponsor, shall we?
Yeah, let's do.
I would like to introduce you to our new sponsor, True Vision Health. True Vision supplies some of the best health and wellness products you will find. Two of the most popular products are the True Fix and True Control combination. True Fix reduces appetite, blocks sugar cravings, boosts energy, and busts visceral fat, while True Control corrects your blood chemistry, cleanses your liver, fights bad cholesterol, and strengthens lean muscle. What else could you want? This is a great product. So if you're interested, visit our website at ourdifferenttake.com, go to the sponsor page, and click on the link for more info. You won't be disappointed. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Actually, try that stuff. I did get 2 boxes of that.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'm going to try it.
Cool. Let me know.
I will. We'll let our folks know how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's, man, if you want some good reviews, give it to your people, let them try it out, and they can
Seriously, right?
shout it out there.
We reach clear to Portugal.
Do we really?
We've had one download.
Well, in Portugal?
Hey, Portugal. Yeah.
Thanks, Portugal.
We're worldwide.
Go.
Right?
Yeah.
Go.
That's awesome.
Anything else we want to cover before we wrap this baby up?
No, I'm good. I have so much stuff that I want to talk about in future podcasts. We're going to have to get together and really map all this out. But please stay tuned because it's going to get really interesting. And I really would like to throw it out there that if you've got some input on this, if you've got anything interesting to say, if you want to be on our show and you've got something you can add to it, please reach out to us and send an email, or they can call now, can't they?
Yeah, when you do your outro thing, there's actually a voicemail number.
Right on.
Yeah. So, yeah, seriously, we're super interested in this stuff. This is the direction I think our podcast is going.
Yeah.
And we're happy to interview people that have different opinions. And, we're open. We want to make this a good forum for everyone.
Yeah, I'm an opinion whore. I'll take them all.
You'll take them all. Right?
Don't matter.
You will take them all.
Yep. All right, folks. Thanks for listening this week. Thanks to our listeners in Portugal, which is awesome. You guys rock. We appreciate you listening. Please send us your comments, suggestions, complaints, or questions for next week's segments to show@ourdifferenttake.com. This week, we now have a voicemail line, which is something you can call and submit questions or really anything that you want. Feel free to prank call us if you'd like. 970-343-4594. That's 970-343-4594. Don't forget to rate us 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and subscribe to the podcast. You can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, radio.com, radio.com mobile app, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Thanks very much.
Peace.
Peace out, yo.